Howdy, good morning. Saturday morning. Uh, let's see, 11:30, 11:24. So had a little bit of coffee, got a good night's rest. Got off a little earlier than expected last night because of the rain. So got a little rest and I'm able to get to some of that workout in the yard today that I've been talking about. So this is gonna be a YouTube video because this is gonna take a while. Got the phone on the stand here, so let's see here. Nope, it won't even zoom or anything. Okay, but yeah, so we gotta get through all that stuff and see. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get better with these videos. It's just a matter of time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, they say, right? I wonder if it'd be better if I spin it. I'm gonna have to test that though. So, actually, that might be better because I tend to look at the bottom of the phone anyway. Well, I'm not here to have you see me bumble around. I wanted to start. I have to see how this is gonna go though. What is that? That's Renzo. Just because he popped up, I'm gonna try to keep going. If it doesn't work, then try again, right? So anyway, what I wanted to start today's video off with is something I think everybody might find a little interesting. What is that, you say? It's a worm shocker. That's right, worm shocker. Meaning it shocks the worms out of the ground using electricity. Is it legal? I don't know. So do not do it. Anyway, yeah. I crack myself up. Renzo. All right, let's get it started. So, because it rained, it's a perfect day to do it. I like to wet the ground a little bit first. Don't have the water hose running, of course. When you're not doing it, don't run the water hose. Maybe soak it the night before when you're not gonna do it. I'm just gonna show you how it works. So there's a bunch of hard parts. Wiring it, so you have to wire it just right. And also, I just got through going through it. Some plugs in your house work and some don't. So I found one that works. I tried it out. So I plug it in. Then, okay. So it's working when you grab it. I feel like a slight vibration. You can feel the vibration. So you plug it in. I already see a little one. I'll wait for you to be able to. Sometimes you have to move it around, find the better spots. Should be really good after this rain though. And hopefully, that's a good, little spot. I mean, it's on it. Okay. I don't know if you can see this one, but mm-hmm. That's just a little baby. You get the biggest, that are in the ground. They'll come up. Another one. You're just a little baby. You got to be patient with it and move around. Sometimes it helps when you just put it in the ground and you go off and do something. And you come back and look and you just gather them up, put them in your bucket for fishing. Isn't that exciting? Down here. Isn't that exciting? There's one crawling on the leaf, looking for some relief from the electricity. And I could touch the ground. I've had cuts on my fingers before, and I'd be grabbing them. I could feel a little buzz. Oh, look at that. Oh, see. Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty. Oh yeah. It's a good time of year to do it too. You don't want to do it when it's hot, because you don't really have any place to keep them. You may not have forgiving people in the household that'll let you keep them in your refrigerator. But I would like store them up in a coffee can, a bucket. Some, of course you're gonna take fishing. Don't put too many in there, because especially night crawlers don't like to be crowded in the bucket. Though actually, when you do it like that, see how they already start, they kind of ball up to protect themselves. So that's what they'll do in a bucket. You'll have a big bucket of dirt and they'll all be in one kind of a ball, because they're stressed when you do that. So I think it's pretty cool. Everybody I've ever showed this to just thinks, oh, look at that nice one right there. Can you see that? See that nice one coming up? The big ones are really sensitive. They come up, they see the light, and that response to the light is to dip back down real fast. Whatnot. And that's why I say sometimes you just have to be patient in the spot. Like, I don't know how long I've been talking. I have to kind of relearn it every time I do this, because I used to do it a whole lot. Haven't done it as much. Because I haven't done as much fishing. But I'm gonna start again. And I'll do another video. This way, when you have, a bucket of worms, you actually it's hard to explain, but let's start from the beginning then, right? So you put one worm on your hook, you cast it out into the water. Okay, let's say there's 2 or 3 fish out there. Boy, it's hard to explain. But anyway, basically you put that one worm out there and a fish comes and he eats it. He's going to eat it, right? And he does. You may catch that fish, you may not catch that fish. Well, as that fish was eating that worm, he was chewing on it, and maybe when you hooked him, maybe when you're reeling in, pieces of that worm fell off. Pieces of that worm fall off, right? So that's in the water. Other fish come around, and they're picking at that. You put that fish, in your cooler or whatnot, and you cast back out with another worm. Okay. Remember those little pieces that were there? There's a fish kind of was picking at that. Like, oh, this worm is good. Oh, look at that. There's another. He grabs that, right? Same thing happens with that worm. Pieces fall off there. You kind of get where I'm going. It creates a little event of feeding, right? We're only talking about 2 worms. So when you have a good supply of worms like this, you're able to stop it. you're able to create that event better. I've done it with catfish, like fishing in my back creek behind my house. It turns into a fishing event that I haven't recreated ever without doing it that way. Because what I do is, you just fill the hook up, a nice size hook with worms, maybe 3 worms, 4 worms, which you usually don't do when they're $4 a dozen right now or something crazy like that. So you're piling it on, and particularly with catfish, they're night feeders, right? So you might be you're in the daytime or in the evening time, right? You get there with, say you're rich and you have 4 packs of worms, right? Well, the little catfish, especially those little green, we call them yellow bellies, these little catfish that you don't even keep them, you just throw them back. Those are just biting your, chewing your bait up, right? Before any that are worth keeping even get a chance, so you're losing your bait. So that's one thing, you're able to work through that with more worms. And so I would do that, and just being patient, being there putting in more hours than your average person. It would be 1, 2 in the morning, and the poles would just start bending. I was amazed, and friends were like, how? I had one night I had like 6 really nice catfish. Huge. I love it, but it just amazed them. And it wasn't the first time I had done that. That particular time, I was going back doing what I knew was going to work. They're like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "To the back." They're like, "There are no fish." But I remember that. Got back. I didn't even live there at the time. I went back to get those fish because the conditions were right. Anyway, all that to say, the worm shocking is the way to go, but do not do it. Okay, on with the video. What I'm gonna do is get back here and start harvesting some tomatoes, some peppers. I'm gonna put them behind me on this table so that everybody can see what's available. If you would like some, let me know. I'll take some to the hall tomorrow anyway. Might take a couple of those younger white pumpkins and stuff. Just some load up like crazy. But it's about that time. I could see that pepper plant over there, that puma in my last video. It looks like it's doing better. It got some water. My mom said she tried to help it out too. So it looks, I could see the leaves are not looking all. Yeah. Well, if you hung in this far, that's good. I think I'm going to go ahead and I have to check. I don't want to do hours and hours of recording with the phone upside down and there be some problems. So we'll cut this one short. And it's just because this my stand doesn't want to. I think the plastic is worn off of it, the little clamp that the phone goes in. So it just rests better that way. Hey, you know what?